What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another Marvel Spider-Man news update. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the random crimes and side missions that you'll encounter in the open world of New York City. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so one cool thing that this game has is just the facts. So basically, as you swing around New York City, Peter's phone will sometimes come to life with audio, and you'll hear a talk show called Just the Facts with none other than Jonah Jameson. Hopefully we'll actually get to meet jolly old Jonah in the flesh at some point in this game as well, because obviously that character, whatever scene he's in, he always makes for great comedy. Now, as well as collecting alternative costumes, you'll also be collecting Peter Parker's old backpacks. So basically, they've been webbed up to secret locations in the city, and you need to scan the environment and pull them down with your webs to retrieve them. Now, Game Informer has also revealed that in the backpack that they retrieved in their demo, they found a picture of one of Spidey's very first web shooters, which is really cool. But other collected backpacks will really flesh out Spider-Man's backstory with the use of audio recordings. So if you want to know how this Peter Parker became Spider-Man in the Insomniac universe, then you better get collecting those backpacks. So obviously, one of the most fun things to do in Spider-Man video games is stop random crimes, and they are absolutely going to be in this game. Basically, random crimes appear on the minimap as red alerts. Now, the great thing about this is they range in size and scope, and may even be different depending on where you are in the story. But these events are completely optional, so, you know, there's no meter representing you standing in the city, and you definitely won't be punished for not completing them. So one of the cool things about the crimes in Marvel Spider-Man is the fact that they can actually evolve as you take them on. So let's say, for example, you're taking on a group of criminals in a jewelry store, and then suddenly one of the thugs actually starts to run away. Well, if he gets into a car, then that triggers a chase. So Game Informer have also reported that in this moment, Spider-Man must then catch up to the vehicle and land on the roof to remove the driver, which you do through a QuickTime event. But you can also stop the vehicle by landing on the hood with force, shoot out webs to the sides, and then the vehicle will stop dead in its tracks. I really love that there's a little bit of choice there, that you can actually choose how you take out the vehicle, but the fact that you could be playing through one crime and it can end up triggering another crime is really cool. I've always wanted that to be how crimes would work in a Spider-Man video game. You know, thugs should be able to run away and try to steal a car and get away and stuff like that. So that's going to make random crimes last a little bit longer and more entertaining, because you don't really know what's going to happen. Maybe they will steal a car, maybe they won't. You'll just have to wait and see. Now, as for side missions, I have a lot of examples to share with you all in a little bit, but I first need to mention that there are plenty of side activities in this game. You'll come across some from villains and allies, and while they are small, they do still have a lot of variety and are said to be very fun to play through. And upon completing these side activities, you are ranked, so you gain more in-game XP and crafting materials by performing well in missions. Now, with most games nowadays, of course, they have a photo mode where you can take awesome screenshots and stuff like that, and Marvel Spider-Man on PS4 is no exception. You'll absolutely have a photo mode in this game, and like I said in the last video, you can even take selfies with civilians if they ask you for one. But the great thing about this is it's not just, you know, something to use for a bit of fun to make cool screenshots of Spider-Man. Photography also plays a role in specific missions. Now, we don't know much about this. It's just been announced that you can take pictures in certain missions, but still, I'm really glad that they're going to add that to the game, you know, because photography is a huge part of Peter Parker. You know, you see it in the movies, you see it in the comics, so it's great to see that we will be able to take pictures in specific missions in this game. So in this universe, with the success of Oscorp, Norman Osborn was able to become New York City's mayor, and during the time that the game is set in, he's currently up for re-election, but his son Harry is actually overseas, but still stays in touch with Peter. Now, the interesting thing about this is, in-game, Harry will actually occasionally call you, and once you accept one of his missions, that'll lead into a side mission where you have to check in on Oscorp experiments and research that are scattered all across the city. Now, like I said already, Harry is overseas in this game, but I wonder if maybe he comes back to New York at the end of the game or something like that. Who knows? But clearly, with Norman being the mayor in this city, I think he's going to have a massive role in the campaign, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe at the end of the game he becomes the Green Goblin, but you know, we will just have to wait and see. Now, one character that I was not expecting to see in this game is Taskmaster, and he actually features in an in-game challenge. Basically, the player has to locate and deactivate 3 bombs in a short period of time. So once Spidey reaches a bomb, he throws it off the side of a building, which then leads to the player having to rapidly press R1 to shoot out web blasts to detonate it. And the cool thing is, the webbing encases the bomb, so the challenge actually ends with a satisfying fireball. Now, the more webbing you apply, the higher your point total. So once you've completed the challenge, a statistics screen appears showcasing how you did. And it also provides 2 bonus objectives. So completing the mission grants you crafting components, and the more objectives the player completes, the more crafting components they unlock. Lastly, Game Informer have also reported that after they took down a variety of challenges in the city, Yuri Watanabe informed Spidey that the Shocker was spotted at a nearby bank. So you then have the option to travel to a new gold marker on the minimap, which will then trigger that mission. Now, unfortunately, Game Informer didn't see much of this mission, but they did say that they saw Shocker knock a giant round door off a bank vault using his 2 huge arm cannons. Now, that sounds awesome, but this version of Shocker is extremely different to what we're used to seeing from the character, but I do think he looks really cool, so I'm very excited to learn more about this universe's Shocker once the game is finally released. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. So, with an evolving random crime system and varied side missions, I think Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4's open world is going to be a really fun and entertaining one that will keep people playing for a very long time. And of course, that's not even counting the post-launch content with Black Cat and other things that we don't know about yet. So, this game is going to be very entertaining, and I love the fact that they really want to keep people playing. They want them to keep swinging around New York City and fighting crime. But it's great to see, you know, you don't have to fight crime. If you want to just swing around the city all day, you can absolutely do that. It is entirely up to you. Anyway guys, as always, I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.